Long ago, in the land of the Nile, where the sun rose over golden sands and gods walked among men, there ruled a king named Osiris. He was more than a god, he was a symbol of justice, wisdom, and harmony. Under his reign, Egypt flourished. Crops grew, people thrived, and the divine order of Mat was upheld. But where light shines brightest, shadows grow deep. And in the heart of Osiris's brother, Set, the god of chaos, storms, and the desert, envy began to stir. Set believed that power belonged to the strongest, and in his eyes, Osiris was too gentle to rule the world. Set's jealousy festered until it consumed him. He plotted a cunning trap. He crafted a coffin made to fit Osiris's body perfectly, and during a grand banquet filled with laughter and wine, Set offered it as a gift to whoever could fit inside. Osiris, unaware, lay down within. In an instant, Set slammed the lid shut, sealed it with magic, and hurled it into the Nile. The world went dark, Egypt fell into sorrow, chaos had won, but Osiris's queen, the wise and powerful goddess Isis, refused to accept defeat. With tears in her eyes and magic in her hands, she searched every corner of Egypt. At last, she found Osiris's body, lifeless, but not lost. She used ancient spells to restore him, just long enough to conceive a child, the son destined to restore balance. That child was Horus. Isis hid her baby in the marshes of the Nile Delta, far from Set's reach. There, Horus grew under the protection of divine spirits, learning strength, strategy, and the value of justice. He was taught not only how to fight, but when to show mercy. His eyes, like his father's, burned with purpose. Years passed. Horus, now a mighty falcon-headed warrior, emerged from hiding and stood before the gods in the celestial court. He declared his birthright, the throne stolen by his uncle, but Set, ever defiant, refused to surrender. He mocked Horus, calling him a child and worthy of kingship. And so began one of the longest and most dramatic conflicts in Egyptian mythology. The gods, including Ra, Thoth, and Hathor, gathered to judge. They listened to arguments, they watched challenges, they questioned both gods, tested their strength, their wisdom, and their right to rule. But the battle was not only in words. Horus and Set faced each other in trials beyond human imagination. They transformed into mighty beasts, hippos thrashing through the Nile, lions clashing beneath the moon. They raced boats made of stone across the river, hurled spells that shook the sky, and fought on the edge of the world. In one of their most brutal battles, Set struck Horus and gouged out his left eye. The pain was immense. But it was more than physical. The Eye of Horus held his power, his clarity, his spirit. Still, Horus stood tall. And when all seemed lost, the god of wisdom, Thoth, stepped forward. Using sacred magic, he restored the eye, healing not only the wound, but giving it a power beyond before. That eye became a symbol of protection, healing, and vision, known to this day as the Eye of Horus. But Set did not give up. He tried tricks and deception. In one story, he accused Horus of being impure. In another, he tried to seduce and humiliate him, attempting to break his spirit. But each time, Horus stood firm, guided by his mother's wisdom and the memory of his father's unjust death. Over time, even the gods grew weary. The battle had lasted over 80 years, not just a physical war, but a spiritual struggle between chaos and order, pride and justice. At last, Ra, the sun god and highest judge, looked deep into Horus's soul. He saw a warrior forged in pain, tempered by wisdom, and driven not by vengeance, but by truth. The verdict was spoken. Horus would be king of Egypt. The throne, once lost to betrayal, was restored to balance. Set was cast out, sent to the desert. He ruled where chaos belongs, not destroyed, for even chaos has its place in the universe. But removed from the throne of men, Horus rose not only as a king, but as a symbol of rightful rule, divine justice, and the eternal battle for balance. His story lived on, carved into temple walls, whispered in the wind, and shining in the Eye of Horus, a reminder that justice may sleep, but it never dies. And so ended the war of gods. Not with silence, but with order.